St. John's advances to their first Big East tournament final since 2000 in the win over Marquette 79-63. I'm Bryce. That's Tariq. Um, Tariq, what are your thoughts on this game? By the way, that.
I was looking at Cam Jones in the beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Me and Dion talked about it on the preview of just could he do what he did in the game. I think at that point they played Saturday, so just almost a week ago at this point. Um, he started out on the trajectory like he was going to get to that. We also talked about whether or not you try to force the ball out of his hands or if you're living with him shooting 20 to 30 shots, and just living with him making difficult shots and getting worn down as the game goes on. And that's basically what happened. He scored 13 in the first 20 points. And then after that, he kind of slowed down at the end of the first half. He had 15 points at the end of the first half. He had 24 points at the end of the game. Shot 10 to 22, 3 of 12 from the floor. David Johnson struggled shooting the ball. He was 3 of 12, 1 of 7 from three. And another guy that I mentioned needing to have a better game than he has had in their big games recently was Stevie Mitchell. He went 2 for 6 today, 1 or 2 from the 3-point line. He had 11 points, but um, they in games like this, you need a little bit more from him. Zay Lowry gave them a good little punch off the bench in 22 minutes. But St. John's is just one of the best teams in the country. I mean, there's nothing they don't do well. They're not a great 3-point shooting team, but when they play defense the way they do and can score the ball the way they do, um, you can live with that. Now, obviously, you're going to need some guys to step up and make some shots, timely shots, when it's time in the tournament, in the big tournament. But as of now, it hasn't been a problem for them. Zuby Ejiofor was fantastic today. He had 33
Freaking
points,
phenomenal.
9 rebounds, career high for him.
Yep.
And he scored in every possible way. He scored off creating for himself. He scored off of dribble drive and the defense stepping up, him getting easy dunks. He was able to get rebounds and go back up. Um, he really scored in every way that he possibly could. And Marquette just didn't have an answer. That was one of the things that I looked at that I said was going to be the swing factor in this game was the post players, whether it was Zuby Ejiofor or was it Ben Gold or Royce Farm off the bench for Marquette. And Zuby Ejiofor absolutely dominated this game. For a game where RJ Lewis shot 4 of 18 and Aaron Scott shot 4 of 12, for them to still win by 16 is a phenomenal feat. Playing a team like Marquette and being able to beat them the way they did. Uh, this wasn't a blowout the entire time because Marquette did have the lead going into the second half. But St. John's is just so good. They're so relentless in their effort and in their um, identity. They just never let up. So you have to play. You have to be better than them for 40 minutes. They're not going to cheat the game. They're not going to beat themselves. You have to be better than them. At one point, Marquette had missed like 9 straight threes. They probably ended up missing like 13 to 14 straight. Um, that was indicative of how their game went, and they also turned the ball over way too many times. They turned the ball over 17 times. You can't do that against the St. John's team. That's going to make you pay every single time. So, um, yeah, I think St. John's is just on a roll right now, and I don't see them losing whoever wins this UConn Creighton game either.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there, man. What Rick Pitino has done with this program in a matter of 2 years has been great to see. Completely turned this program around thanks to some of the transfers he brought in, like Dave Richmond, who can give you whatever at any time. Um, Had a double double in this game, 10 rebounds, 12 points on 5 of 10 shooting. And you got the Big Ten player, not Big Ten, Big East player of the year, RJ Lewis, who didn't have the craziest game in this one, but like you mentioned, this was a Zuby Ejiofor game, but their talent and their defense, um, is what makes them what this team is. That Patino press is something serious. I mean, ever since whenever, really. Like you give Patino a good team that can cover the floor, spread the floor, um, can cover ground, and has length. That's a scary team to match up against. And that's what this St. John's team has looked like. And as they've made their path to the Big East championship, um, looking like they'll be like a 2 or 3 seed in the March Madness tournament. You got to think this is a team that is built for March and built to make a deep run, and not necessarily a contender, but it wouldn't be surprised to see them make a Final Four run at all. But yeah, great game by St. John's here. They started off slow. Marquette got a good lead on them to start the game off. Um, but they were able to bring it to a 2-point game at halftime, and then ultimately took control in that second half and became who they were. Um, Not really became who they were, but they took control of the game and cruised to a victory. 16-point victory at that. So yeah, good game for St. John's. I think this game boosts any confidence for anybody that's believing in them this season. Um, because of how they beat a team like Marquette in this stage of their season. Um, as they await the winner of St. John, not St. John's, as they await the winner of UConn and Creighton, which would be the ultimate test heading into the March Madness tournament. And yeah, I'm really trying to think if there's anything else.
Do you feel like either of the teams that are playing currently as we record this, which team do you think has the best chance against St. John's?
I would say UConn. I would say UConn probably have the best chance beating St. John. Um, then again, I don't know because Creighton's good too. Like Creighton kind of match up with them as well. I'm just trying to think of matchups, thinking players. I think both teams will play them close and play them tough, and it will make for a classic matchup. But ultimately, I do think St. John is the better team out of the three remaining teams, and I think that they'll be. I don't want to say regardless who they play, it just they're still favored in my opinion, and they'll still be my pick to win this whole tournament.
Yeah, I feel that. I think UConn gives them the best matchup. Just having the weapons that they have, having the experience that they have, UConn is always going to be a team that's difficult to beat. Um, so I would love to see that matchup. Not saying that Creighton can't beat them, or um, I wouldn't look forward to that matchup as well because I would. Um, but I feel like if that's the matchup, that'll be the best possible game we could get for a championship game. But I mean, St. John's just been so good. I mean, again, being able to win by 16 points with RJ Lewis going 4 for 18, that's damn near unheard of for you to play that well with your best player getting or not shooting well at all. And
And
I'm
only three
looking,
bench points.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm telling you, like Zuby Ejiofor was that good in this
Yeah.
game to where they just didn't have an answer, and he was getting easy shots, and Marquette was getting tough shots every time they came down the court. So
Yep.
if he's getting the shots that he was getting, almost every single shot that he had was at the rim. I think he shot two threes. Um, Almost every shot that he got was at the rim. So, um, you know, he never really had to work. I wouldn't say he didn't have to work, but his shots were easy. Marquette struggled to get good shots, and when they did, they just didn't fall. Um, but yeah, we'll see how Marquette does in the tournament. But uh, St. John's, they're on a roll right now, and being at home certainly helps.
Oh yeah, that's something to add. They have not lost a home game. Madison Square Garden is their home court for half of their home games or majority of home games. They do use Madison Square Garden. So yeah, they have not lost a home game this season, and it looks like they're gonna be smooth sailing to undefeated home record. Regardless of the fact, we'll be back here to recap every game of the Big East tournament here on the Sleepers Media YouTube channel.